Yes, so we are live. Great. Participants are starting to join. We are now live for this fourth webinar. We have around 7 participants who have joined so far. A very good afternoon to all of you. We have Somaya ji, we have Mr. Satish Tavde, we have Panali Selvam ji, Nitin Patel ji, Kalyani, she's also here, she's a colleague. We have Mr. Bharata, Igalaheva. So gradually as we let people join, once again, a very good afternoon to all of you, all the participants who have joined us for the fourth webinar that Bedzin is organizing on the topic Gandhi for Industry. My name is Piyush Pandey, and I am a senior lean practitioner. The second webinar was to understand what are the guidelines given by the state government, central government. In the third webinar, we again saw how to discover the means to save money from our own operations. Now we have Gandhi for Industry. So we have 10 attendees so far. New joinees are Vedo Seth, Swapnil, Zagade, and Paresh Chandan. So as we let people keep joining us, it would be great if you can let me know if you can hear me. On your screen, you would find a chat box where you can type Y. If you can hear me clearly, please. I would wait for your response. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm getting the response. Thank you, Viduji. Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, Nitin. So it's 4:02 right now. We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start the webinar. Yes. Thank you, Swapnil. Thank you, Paresh. Thank you, Bharata. Thank you, Panali Salmamji. Good evening. Very good evening to you. We have Samyak Roiwale joining just now. We have Manish Patil who has joined just now. So people will keep joining as we go ahead. Now, if you can get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, please get your water bottles too, because this is going to be a 1.5 hour program, a 90-minute program, where you will have the chance to hear on the subject matter. Namaste, Somaya ji. So it's 4:04. Let me begin this program. Now, this program is organized by Bedzin Consulting Group. Our motto is transforming organizations through lean consulting. We are into improving operations, process, people, and their workplace. We are also into research, training, and facilitating implementation. We do it by learning by doing, through hands-on practices, and in a team-based manner. The topic for today's webinar is Gandhi for Industry. So before we get into knowing what is Bedzin, let me brief you about the agenda today. It is in 4 parts, 10 minutes, that is 4 till 4:10. We would be understanding about Vidzin. For next 50 minutes, we would be understanding from our speakers what is Gandhi for Industry. 15 minutes for the case study on the webinar topic, and the next 15 minutes in answering your questions. So some guidelines for you: be comfortable, be relaxed, be at ease, keep a pen and paper handy so that you can jot down your notes, make your notes, write down your questions so that you can ask them using the question or the chat box. Now these questions will be answered at the end of this session. One request to all of you: please block all the pop-ups or other internet consuming devices. If the power goes off, just make sure that the Zoom on which you are connected, it will reconnect. So be at ease, it is going to reconnect. Or you can click on the invitation link, the registration link given to you in your email IDs. You can click on that and come back to this webinar. Now this webinar is an awareness session. It will give you a framework about how to use Gandhian principles in the industry. It is not a workshop or a training session. Lastly, you will get a recording of this webinar in your email within 24 hours of its completion. So more about Vidzin now. Vidzin was founded in the year 2000 by Sri Yogesh Waghani. His vision then was to create a mini Japan in the Nagar Road industrial belt of Pune. His vision has now become our vision, the company vision, which reads as to be a global missionary for improving top and bottom line of clients, whereby bringing prosperity to all stakeholders in the business through total employee involvement and helping them become world-class organizations. Vidzin is now a well-known brand in the field of lean Kaizen implementation. We have helped many organizations become fit, fast, flexible by engaging all employees at all levels. We have worked with myriad of organizations, more than 10 sectors, and 50 plus organizations we have where we have developed more than 5,000 leaders who are driving their organization towards business excellence, towards operational excellence, towards becoming a world-class organization. We provide our services in manufacturing sector across all industries, construction, services, retail, like companies like Tanishq, Kama, DN Jewels. We have been working with them for the last 5 years now. The jewelry industry also. We have worked with foundries. We have worked with automobile companies, automobile suppliers. We have worked with construction companies. We have worked with hotels and hospitals too. We have worked with giants and MNCs. We have worked with banks also. More about that later someday. But the results have been very fruitful for these companies. We could improve their productivity almost by 25%. We could improve their quality up to 40%. The throughput time got reduced by 25% with the people's efforts. The cost also subsequently reduced up to 10 to 15%. Now it gave them superior flexibility. It helped them build a high performance culture. You can visit our website www.vidzin.com to read the testimonials, to see the videos of what our clients have to say. Clients like Syntel Telecom that you see on your screen, clients like Asian Paints, clients like Automotive Stampings. The result of this has been recognized by the industry leaders also. Last year, in 2019, we got the ET MSME Excellence Award in the education and training category, especially in the micro enterprise category, where Vidzin Consulting, Lean Consulting Group was recognized as one of the best training providers. Now, the program today, the topic, as you know, is Gandhi for Industry. The presenter of this session is Sri Yogesh Waghani, the Chairman and Managing Director of Vidzin Consulting Group. He dons triple hats of being the ex-promoter of Milton Plastics, ex-chairman and founder of DCCIA Pune, the Deccan Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture. He is also the chairman and MD at Bedzan Consulting Group. He has led one of the most successful Kaizen transformation initiatives in India by adopting the lean Kaizen management practices at Milton's Pune unit in its entirety. He is an avid practitioner of lean Kaizen and a committed one, the proof of which lies in the first Global Kaizen Award bestowed upon his company by Japanese guru of Kaizen, Masaki Imai-san, in the year 2002. He has a considerable hands-on experience in implementation of the best practices like Lean Kaizen, Six Sigma, world-class manufacturing. He was felicitated as the Lean Management Guru by Excellence Learning Center, Pune, in the year 2009 during the Lean Management Congress. In 2017, he was bestowed upon the Lifetime Achievement Award by the DCCI Pune. The next speaker today we will have, who will be presenting a case study on Gandhi for Industry, is Shri Ketan Chandrana. He is a CEO and director. He is currently the CEO of Synergy Global Brands, of Synergy Global Sourcing, and Synergy Global Manufacturing. They are into distribution. They are as distribution partners for global food service brands. They are actively promoting Make in India for the past 15 years. They are into contract manufacturing for US and Canadian OEMs in food service and engineering segments. Ketanji is also the director of Enercon Asia Pacific Private Limited, which is a 100% Indian subsidiary of Enercon USA. He has over 38 years of professional experience. He is a mechanical engineering expert and a manufacturing technologies expert. He has traveled widely in the US, UK, Canada, China, Germany, Singapore, and has more than 6 years of experience in international business. Additionally, Ketan is also trained for implementing CII's business excellence model based on the European quality model, Federation of Quality Management, the EFQM model. He has also undergone trainings like the Bulletproof Manager conducted by the Crestcom USA. So participants, I can understand you must be patiently waiting for the session. We have more than 25 people who have joined us so far. Now, without much further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Vaghani to take over from here and share his insights on the subject. Over to you, sir. This is Piyush signing off. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Piyush. Namaskar, participants. Are you in a position to hear me? Okay.
Yes, we are receiving the responses.
Okay, great. Let me start by blowing my own trumpets. As Piyush was mentioning, that Milton Plastics had got excellent results by implementing Kaizen. We had improved quality while reducing cost. We had reduced on inventory. We had 25 inventory tons, productivity improvement, throughput time reduction, etc. Milton Plastics also received the first Kaizen Award as mentioned by Masaki Imai, and it was initiated in the year 2005 and we were the first one. Okay. Let's take a poll, Amul, and check how many of them are implementing Kaizen, Lean, Six Sigma. Have you shared the poll, please? Yes. Can we have the response from the participants? %. Okay, we are still getting responses. So can we publish the poll? Yes. So we have 50% of them into lean, 13 of them out of 14, that is 93%. So they are practicing lean and Kaizen both, that is what I understand. And we have world-class systems. 14% of them are into world-class systems. Fair. Very good. Excellent. My next question to all of you is, after achieving all the possible gains like throughput time reduction, inventory reduction, what are the two things that you feel I should be looking forward for in the year 2005? I'm taking you back, but I'm questioning you. I want to understand, what should I be doing for sustaining the gains? Okay. So no one is suggesting me to go for more lean tools. Very good, very good. Okay, we can publish the results, yes. Fine. Okay, great. You can stop sharing. Wonderful. Thank you, Amol. Let me share some of the slides on Milton and what we had achieved, and then I will tell you what my predicament was during that time. Can we stop sharing? Poll results are good enough now. Amur. Amul, can we stop sharing the poll too?
Yes, sir, we already stopped and we see your screen.
I'm not in a position to continue.
We can see your screen, sir. So if you can put that into presentation mode, on the bottom side, you will find it, and we can continue with your session.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
You can press F5 on your top.
No, it doesn't work the same way as it works in your this
Function.
Okay. Here we go. But how come this particular one? Okay. Okay. Is it all right now?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So we went around implementing 5S. We had inventory management system, that is Kanban, easy traceability systems, and we could improve, meaning reduce the inventories in WIP, finished goods, all across tools, and the inventory reduction in engineering store, as you see, was 85%. Storage of oil, we could reduce the inventory up to 75%. The first drawer were organized, and till this date, the same system continues in our office too. We started with operators in the assembly sitting and doing their work, getting into one-piece flow. This is one-piece flow. And later on, we had Haijunka, that is load leveling, and every operator produces, assembles, and packs in a master carton all the colors that are required. Masaki Imai would come down, and from the mezzanine, this was the mezzanine, he would travel on the mezzanine and say, Mr. Vaghani, the inventory that you have is touching the roof. Where is your factory? And I would say, this is my factory, sir, the molding shop. He wouldn't agree to that, continue the same question at least 3 times, that I want to see your factory and I am seeing only the warehouse. He said, Mr. Vaghani, what you need to do is to first understand your inventories are touching the roof. This is not your factory. This is your warehouse. So cut down your inventory from the touching the roof to the head level, then to the navel level, and after that to the knee level. And this is what it was. We had reached the knee level inventory, but that was not over. He came down and said, we want Milton Plastics where there is no material in the gangway and no leakages from any machines. We had machines which were 20 years old. Some of the machines were more than 25. And the difficult task was that no leakages of any sort, whether air, water, oil. It was easily said than done, but yes, we could achieve that, right? And we got the first Kaizen Award from Masaki Imai. Later on, 2 things kept bothering me: how to sustain the gains and develop a culture that total employee involvement. And that is when we met Dilip Somaiya and started implementing Gandhian servant leadership. Till this date, I haven't found a better tool. So he has done some of the legendary work with the team to see that what are the principles that could be derived from Gandhiji and the practices for the same, which I'm going to share with you. We went around implementing on Nagar Road, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore. We went to Tanishq, Titan, everywhere. The question was, how do I sustain the gains? And let me, so as according to the poll, what you had mentioned, that we need to do total employee involvement. But how to get that total employee involvement? How do we sustain the gains? And how do we build a culture of total employee involvement was a very pertinent question that we had to answer. And that is when I started visiting Dilip Bhai and also traveled to some of the organizations to understand that how this is possible. So let me share what I had understood. And he said, you have to serve first. And during that visit, I could see, as you see it on the screen, that some of them were able to drive the continuous improvement and also sustain the gains year on year. Now, how are they doing it? That was the question. So when I visited, I could see the practices of such companies were much different, and they could really sustain the gains. In the first photograph, you see Mr. Kanetkar from Kennametal Vidya. He is cleaning the floor with his own hands. And after some time, he came back saying, we could now realize the floor was green and not black. The original floor color is green. Same with, we visited Linea Leather in Chennai. The CEO, Mr. Sirish Patel, cleaning his own toilet. Not only his own toilet, but the public toilet belonging to the employees. We have some of the general managers like Kumar in Tanishq. He is doing standing operation. Why he is doing it? I'm going to share some of the principles and practices. Same thing again in Linea Leather. Some of the physically challenged people could do jobs which were impossible for the normal person to do it. And they were doing it with so much of an ease that I was surprised. So it is here in these companies that we found clues to culture development. And we realized that some people in this organization had become leaders by following some principles and practices. What are those principles and practices? We began to think, what is the source of this? And I was a learner, and I'm still a learner, and it was servant leadership. Servant leadership, so what it meant was, first, think, serve. We have to serve first and then lead. It is easy to have a power and a position. But first, when we serve people, people realize that he is one of us and not one of that who is holding his position. So most of the time, the directors were asked to come on the floor and do his own work. Not his own work only, but come and clean up the place. So leaders are leaders because they are the greatest servants. And the way up is down. Okay? And my question is, who do you call a leader? When your employees think of leadership style, what do they see? Someone focused only on going up the organization ladder, or someone committed to serving both customers and employees? I surely know the participants' answer. Okay, we don't have any poll right now, but from the chat, we can find out, is it the later or is it the first one that you focus on only going up the ladder? So I will share my organizational architecture. When I visited USA, I was invited by American Manufacturing Excellence in the year 2005 at Boston. The theme was leading the revolution. And I could share right from the time the customer expectations, the customer orders come, the factory leaders, we had factory within factory concept, water bottle, casseroles, vacuum flasks, tiffins, water jars. And where we were taking months for the orders to be fulfilled, now we were taking few hours to assemble and dispatch the material. So right from customer expectation to customer delight was taking place. And do you see where my position was? I was serving my managers, my assistant managers, factory leaders, and my employees, even the contractual workers. Okay, this is where I stand. This is where I stood. Let's see some of the slides on servant leadership principles followed at Milton, which everybody participated. Later on, when Sumaya ji came, okay, let's start now. And we had collective cleaning. It was not only collective cleaning, right from director to doorman was the essential aspect of it. So every day without fail, after lunch, we would get down on the floor, clean up the place. We were given 10 minutes, but later on, within 5 minutes, all 300 employees could clean up the whole place. So the whole mismatch of 9 people cleaning the floor to 300 people cleaning was done in a jiffy. Okay. And we had machines that were being cleaned, autonomous maintenance, toilets cleaned, and we had the display right in the public domain. And I took more than 3 months to pass the 5S audit. 80% was the passing mark. But yes, we could do that. So let's understand some leadership again, that serving is giving back to society more than what we have received. 99% are takers in this world. 1% is only giver. But when we say 1% who is a servant, it includes him too. So it's the most unselfish or the selfless work one can do. In Shastras, it is said, Lok Sangrah, for the benefit of all. When we have the vision, most of the time we have seen it is more rhetoric or it is fixed on the wall. But here the servant leadership takes up the challenge, having a shared vision, goals clear, and then getting on to the job to see that how he makes people win. So in this situation, it is not people working for the leader, but it is leader working for the people. The important thing is we make people win. People are definitely a company's greatest asset. People are the only appreciating assets in the organization. It doesn't make any difference whether the product is cars or cosmetics. A company is only as good as the people it keeps. We don't build business. We build people. The servant leadership is very clear. It builds people, and the people build business. We make people win so that they are in productive zone and not in comfort zone. So how do you bring them to productive zone? How do you make yourself available so that the problem solving is done by the people and not, let's say you have an open door policy. We have open door policy, and people come down with the problem. They can come with the problem provided they have come with 2 solutions for it. And most of the time, the solutions given by them are at times better than what we can think. So how we make people win? It's not the question of making them win just by paying them high salary. So we have examples of different people, how they have won. Let me share a few principles and practices which develop culture of the organization, which make ordinary people do extraordinary work. The idea is servant leadership also believes that there is seed of greatness in every individual. Are we ready to sit and listen to them, understand and then develop them. Here is a Prema case study right from the time. Uh, it's a very humble beginning she had. She was born in an ordinary but large family. And soon after she was born, the company her father worked for went on strike. This brought untold difficulty on the family, and food became a rare commodity. From this position, she joined the company leather manufacturing, and she was paid 300 rupees a day. From there, 300 rupees per month, sorry. From there, in 1993, she was unskilled. From there, she became a skilled worker in 1996. In the following year, she became the Employee of the Year, 1997. Then you see she is taking care of the cell, checking the first time right. And she got the Rotary Award for Vocational Excellence. These are some of the examples in linear leather, not only Prema, but most of the people, even the physically challenged people, okay, visually challenged, were handling the final packing. Some of them were handling the dispatches. The Prithviraj was a 5S champion and head of maintenance. Wow, it was unbelievable. When I visited this, some of the photographs that are here, unbelievable. We have some of the, how we made people win. We have excellence. Rohidas Bhujbal was earlier a contractual worker with Milton. From there, he started handling 5 stores, one person handling 5 stores, okay? And that was possible. And he said, I still have a lot of time after implementing Kaizen and after implementing Gandhian servant leadership. He says, I have more time with me. Please give me more work. Today, he's handling the dispatch department and delighting the customers. Rohidas Bhujbal. Then we have Ganesh from Vidzen Enterprise, from workers to maintenance in charge. And he has record of maximum Kaizens being done. Okay. So the seed of greatness could come out in 1, 2, and 3rd is Rajaram. He was a driver, I would say a Sarthi, like Krishna was a Sarthi. He was my Sarthi. Okay. And from there, he is right now, the Rajaram is the general manager at Jaideep Plastics. Okay. That's the beauty. How we make every person win. How we bring, as you all rightly said, that we need to go into total employee involvement. But how do we get total employee involvement was still a question mark to me. We have seen the leadership style, okay? The leadership style right from dictatorship do it my way, Hitler way. Then you have empowerment style, do it your way. Lean style, follow me, okay? And we have Gandhiji style, that be the change you want to see in the world. So it's not for the leaders to say that you go and I follow. It says you be the change, be in the front, lead from the front. When we say you are the leader, leader does not mean who is a CEO. Leader also means the departmental head. We have to be the change that we want to see. If we want to take the organization ahead, we have to move ahead, take people ahead with us. Gandhiji practices are way before World War I. He came down via ship from South Africa wearing Indian clothes in July 1914. Why did he do that? He could find a purpose there that yes, I can challenge by my way, by my shastras that teach me that I can handle the whole of India. Like, yes, I can take up that challenge and see how I can make my India free from the Britishers. So why servant leadership? The question is, you have been hearing me for now more than 40 minutes, not 40, 30 minutes, 10 minutes Piyush was on the line. So if we have to implement servant leadership, the benefit, the gains that you could see are phenomenal. And these were practiced by Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, in his values and vision, comes out very clearly, do things differently. That was given by Gandhiji way back. He says, do things differently. Now we call out of the box. Every person doing his job has to see his job as something new, with new eyes, with new perspectives. Taiichi Ono from Toyota. Taiichi Ono, he was an inventor of lean, what we are practicing today. And when Ono used to come and people would say, oh, no. Then we had HP, founder of HP, Anna Hazare, Gandhiji, people, Pope Francis, J.R.D. Tata, Aziz Premji, Narayan Murthy, Walt Disney, and many other leaders are the servant leadership. Productivity gains. In some of the areas, we could gain productivity of more than 200% on the floor. Additional quality improvement, on-time delivery, dramatic improvement. As I mentioned in the Milton case, within few hours, the deliveries could happen. And people would enjoy. They are in more productive zone. They are more happy people. Why? Because they are also solving the problems. They are doing more Kaizens. Doing more Kaizens is like you are really satisfied. Kaizen does not only mean change for the good, it means change for happiness. And that comes right from within. Customer satisfaction will improve. You will have higher professional satisfaction. Becoming a role model in your own company, like we have seen some of the examples. Today, Prema is not only what she had done, but she is a lean consultant traveling, globetrotting before the COVID-19. She would be traveling most of the time to Bangladesh, Africa, to implement what she had learned. And for her to do that servant leadership and implement Kaizen. So all these gains are lean in conjunction with servant leadership. Creating a culture of continuous improvement and sustainable gains. The last two are the most important. We have to sustain the gains. We cannot be doing the same thing again and again. So why Gandhi for industry? Where did this again come up? This is a beautiful quote, and it's one of my favorite quotes of Gandhiji, which says, achieving excellence is quite simple but difficult. Let's stop here. Why is it so simple and at the same time difficult? He says excellence lies in doing what everybody could but does not. And I found the answer that excellence lies in doing what everybody, and I used to be judging people, labeling people. But after practicing servant leadership, I could see if I could lead and take people with me and do things, put myself into their shoes, run machines, and show them that it is possible, then excellence is simple. Okay. He wanted to make India free. He wanted to see the Britishers leave the country, but he did it in a very gentle way. You could see in each of these, the three photographs, that he has so many followers. So many people are ready to follow on what he said. And hardly, there's no shirt. And Satyagraha movement, people would just follow. Gents, ladies, boys, girls, unimaginable. Now, what we are learning is, if he could do all this, why isn't it possible for me? Which had all the gutka and all, they start burning it. They said, if we are practicing this, we don't need to keep this. The whole Gaon was free of tobacco. That is the power of the servant leadership. Gandhiji thought that Atmanirbhar, what our Pradhan Sevak Modi ji says, Swadeshi movement. This is what Gandhiji said. I have to first move the charkha with my own hand. So localize all your materials. Whatever you buy Indian, be Indian. His main quality was fearlessness. And he achieved fearlessness with politeness by practicing truth and non-violence. When there is truth, believe me, the fear goes away. But when we hide, when we try to blame or we give excuses, there is more fear that we develop. So the more excuses we give, the more fearful we become. So more truth we speak, the more easily we come out of the fear. That's the power of the truth. You may face problem once, but that's all. And you build a lot of credibility by giving and practicing truth. Gandhiji was an ordinary man, but he did an extraordinary work by inspiring ordinary people. I remember his quote, he's saying that I am an ordinary man and I don't have a shadow of doubt that any man or any person practicing these simple principles can achieve more than what I have achieved. The power is in simplicity and not in complexity. But we individuals develop more complexity in the organization and then try to find the way inside. Very difficult. Practice lean, along with that, practice servant leadership. Let's say Gandhi engineering. Dr. Masalkar says Gandhi engineering was doing more from less for more. You get more performance from less resource for more people. You get more profit from less resource for more people, for more stakeholders. How that is possible, we will understand some of the principles. C.K. Prahlad in his book had mentioned very clearly, learning from the Gandhiji's days, that the fortune is at the bottom of the pyramid. How you could serve the bottom of the pyramid? Like Parle's, Piyush was sharing with me that Parle's took out 5 rupees packet. Dinsha has 5 rupees ice cream. Moment that was done, many more people could buy and the sale of the company goes up dramatically. What are we with? The industry, we have to see at the bottom of the pyramid, how we can improve that. Moment we improve that, it is surely going to see the gains, the benefits that I had shared before. Wow, these are the famous words uttered by Einstein after the death of Mahatma Gandhi. He says, generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as Gandhi ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth. Hats off. So let's understand the evolution of Gandhian principles for the industry. And we say it is GSL, Gandhian Servant Leadership. My namaskar to Guru, D.K. Somaiya ji. अगर गुरु और गोविंद दोनों खड़े होंगे, किसके पहले चरण में छूऊंगा, तो मैं उस गुरु के चरण, श्री चरण छूऊं जिसने मुझे ये राह दिखाई. आज today we have team of people along with Dilip ji who could see what Gandhi ji practiced and that could be brought to the industry. Namaskar, Dilip bhai, you are there as a participant. This is the quote by Dilip bhai. He says, leadership inspiration founded on values, ethics, compassion to serve are a lot more effective and permanent than the one derived from carrot and stick approach. When he says compassion, it doesn't mean that you pamper people. He says people should be challenged so that they should grow further. Challenging them by giving them the problems on the floor that they see, they have to come with the solution. So these are the principles, okay? The first principle is cleanliness is godliness. If Amul can quickly check with participants that why do we have Diwali cleaning every year without fail? Can we have some answers on the chat box and somebody can read out for me?
Yes, yes. So I'll help you out in this. Participants, the question here is, why do we do an annual cleaning thing in Diwali, right? Every Deepavali, we do that, right? What do you think is the reason? We would like to understand it from you. So you can put in your thoughts in the chat box, write it down there. We will hear it out and read it.
We do it in our own house every year without fail.
Yes, Sachinji says, Nitin has some answers, Umesh Kavali. So I'll just start reading them one by one. Sachinji says, when there is cleanliness, Lakshmi will be there.
Wow. Next.
The Nitin Patel says, to welcome supreme deities to our home.
Wow.
Then Umesh Gavali ji says, we are welcoming the holy God. Paresh ji says, Lakshmi should come. Gandhi sir says, it's a holy festival. And Swapnil says, it's for Lakshmi. Panali Selvam ji says, remove unwanted materials to ensure cleanliness. So have lots of answers.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm really happy to hear the answers. That cleanliness is godliness. We want Lakshmi to come. But where does Lakshmi come to us from? where does Lakshmi come to us? From the organization where we work. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? What's the answer, Piyush?
Yes, the answer, one answer is yes, two more yes. There are a few more answers like cleanliness bring happiness. It creates a space for Lakshmi. So these are some yes. Everybody's answering it yes.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so now, if why do we want Lakshmi to come once a year to us? Can we not have cleanliness every day so that Lakshmi comes every day to us? Most of the time I have seen we have a wonderful photographs of gods and goddesses. Below that we have a tray and we light lamp, we have agarbatti, the fragrance stick, but it is at times it is so dirty that how do we expect Lakshmi to come when we can't keep that part clean? Let's come now move this towards the industry. Cleanliness is godliness, okay? Doing cleaning with our own hands. How that has to be practiced, I will share. Gandhiji, with his own hands, would clean his toilet daily, and once a week, he would clean up the ashram toilet. The idea of doing cleaning the shop floor is first to shatter the ego. I remember in my son's factory, Jaideep Plastics, when I asked them to clean, my son came back saying, Dad, they are saying, हमारी इज्जत क्यों उतार रहे हो वर्कर के सामने? I said, no problem. I know where the problem lies. I visited the plant, Jaideep Plastic Satara. I said, I want to clean, get me the broom. Moment I started, the others followed. So again, how we lead by example is very important. The second one, principle is dignity of physical labor. Dignity of physical labor comes from the leaders doing the work on the machine for minimum of 2 hours on the machine where there is a problem or where there is a customer complaint. We go on the machine and we run the machine, put ourselves into the shoes of the worker. Whether the product with the problem is displayed, where the problem is, all that is possible when we practice dignity of labor. The third one is hatred for waste. Fourth, management by walking around. I'm going to share some of the practices. So the fifth one, lead by example. Okay. We have to lead by example. Be the change. Again, we are repeating. Be the change that you want to see in the world. We have seen this quote at many places, right? When we enter Mumbai airport, Gandhiji quote you can see. Everyone reads it, but just passes by it. Sixth, respect for people. What do we mean by respect for people? Very simple. The divinity in me is respecting the divinity within the person who is there. So we respect the divinity of all. Moment we start doing that, the respect is automatic rather than labeling, judging. Every day, a person coming to the organization is a new person. He comes with new perspective. But as leaders, we at times do we see them with our old perspective. Rather than that, the respect for people is very important, and customer orientation. Cleaning public toilets and doing all works without anyone's help made him self-sufficient, again, egoless, that is completely ego-shattering device. Egos are in many ways, I am supreme, I alone exist. When we drive on road, why did that person overtake me? And these are all down to earth. What does leader need to do? Leader to participate daily in 10 minutes 5S and take a Kaizen pledge. The Kaizen pledge is like a prayer every day. It should be taken without fail. Participate and not lead. In one 5S rapid improvement workshop, it is a focused improvement projects that are taken up, and leaders should participate for half a day every month. This is what we see. Okay, right from the Dilip Somaiya as a leader, when he visits any organization, he takes up the broom. Shirish Patel, the CEO of Linear Leather, Dinkar, Soman Bhaumik from Titan Industries. We have Raj Mehta, he is from a different industry, not from manufacturing. Little Italy, he owns 30 restaurants in India, Dubai and Nepal. He says to be a leader, one should be in a position to clean the soiled plates. If we can do that, then you can be a leader. And you shouldn't have any hesitation in doing that. This was an article which was published in one of the Pune newspaper. Then we had this Jaideep Plastics. This is what I was mentioning. And not only within the factory, but outside the factory, cleaning the drainage so that there is no filth in the drainage. Totally cleaned and covered now. We have Modi ji, Prime Minister of India. He's saying that I am a sevak, I am a servant first, then the Prime Minister. He never calls himself a Prime Minister. So dignity of labor has to be our national duty. I even recollect our President, Dr. Abdul Kalam, that we want government to do everything, but we as people would not even pick up a piece of paper and throw it in the waste paper basket. We would like to throw the dirt on the road, but we as Indians would not like to do that. So again, he was mentioning that it is important for us to do what we need to do. Dignity of physical labor. I call myself a laborer because I take pride in calling myself a spinner, weaver, farmer, and scavenger. Scavenger is whatever has been discarded, that is what I go for. That is what Gandhiji would say. And when I show you some slides, I think most of you would say that, okay, let me be also the scavenger now. So do value-adding work on shop floor for 4 hours per week. Select processes, customer problems, defect rate, wherever we want productivity increase. We have to go with an open mind and check that what needs to be done, what are the complaints, what are the problems, and where should it be making a difference. Sometimes instead of blaming, we understand the employee that what problem could be sorted out whereby his job becomes much simple. So participate again in rapid improvement workshop. These are some of the examples. We see many examples, Tanish, Kumar, Fazal Ali Khan. We see Ketan, who is going to share his success story with us today. He was a GM admin at Dynaspeed Integrated Systems. Hatred for waste. I think I will have to move a little faster. Time is catching up. Again, Gandhian engineering. Lean is more from less for more. I don't have to repeat now. Whereas Gandhi's philosophy is from more, from less for more. Conduct training on waste identification, elimination. Inspire people to do 52 Kaizens per person per year. It is easily possible. Moment the training is provided on waste identification, on Mura, variation. Most of the quality problems are due to the variation. And Muri, that is strain. Draw Uno circle, do it. I'm going to show some of the slides here where you see the waste that is coming out. I think after understanding the scavenger, I thought I should be in the business of removing all the waste and let me own those, because they are given away at a dirt-free price and you can make millions. Again, it is a hatred for waste is a Banya mentality. We should inspire more people to do more Kaizen, right? By applying the Gandhian servant leadership practices, space is released for work, searching times are reduced dramatically, we become more productive. Productivity goes up, meaning if it is 10-20%, then you don't need us. When we go more than 60-70%, that is where we say, please implement Gandhian servant leadership along with Lean. Now, can we check where should we focus? When we see the non-value adding activity, which is a waste, okay, 60% is a waste, 35% is a necessary but not value adding activity, and 5% is value adding activity. Where should we attack first? Is it 5%? Companies not implementing Lean first attack only the value adding activity and they do cost cutting. We say don't cut costs, cut your waste, remove waste from the organization. The primary focus of Lean Kaizen should be on improving to see the waste elimination. When we have seen waste up to 95% in some of the companies, and companies spend crores of rupees on capital investment for doing non-value adding activities. Management by walking around, as we could see Mahatma Gandhi when he came around and he wanted to improve on the Indian conditions, he was first asked to go all around India and study the people and their problems. Okay. What does GSL practice say? Regular shop floor walks, thrice a week. Is it difficult, friends? Definitely not. Stand-up meeting on shop floor. Difficult. Sunrise meet. We have to earn trust and respect by direct contact with people. Appreciate improvement. Observe the broken flow of material and information and improve those. That is where we get waste. Wherever there is high inventory between the two processes, it is a waste. Management by walking around. Taking the Gemba walk. What are the tips? Here are the tips given. Taking the Gemba walk. What do we observe? I am running short of time, so I'm not going to run point by point. But believe me, when we start observing the waste, this becomes a beautiful walking around. Lead by example. Gandhiji had followed the Shastra. He said whenever he faces problem, he would open Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita says, Yad yada charati tat tat devatro janah sa yat pramanam kurute lokasta anuvartate. Whatever the leader does, people follow. And Gandhiji did exactly that. What do we need to do? Be relaxed and let people sense your genuineness. It is not a fake one. It is not a personality. It is a correct character development people should see. They should earn trust and respect. Listen and observe firsthand what people on the front lines are saying. Ask people about their ideas and work problems. Okay, so we need to communicate on visions, goals, plans, challenges to the people. It is sometimes thought that leaders have to solve all the problems, but when we discuss the problems, most of the time I was surprised to see the solutions are so simple, but I was making things complicated for them. Respect and love people. As I mentioned earlier, respect and love comes from the divinity that lies within every one of us. We are not human beings, but we are spiritual beings on a human path. So respect for people is key to lean-driven culture change. If we need to bring the culture change, this is very essential. Empowering and supporting people on challenging projects. Respect, challenge, and grow. We need to respect people. We don't need to pamper them. We need to respect, give them challenge. Okay? Challenge them with more problems on the floor and let their subconscious mind work. You'll be surprised the next day they come up with solutions are unbelievable. We should have an open door policy, monthly departmental communication stand-up meet. Gandhiji had Prarthana Sabha and he used to meet even once a month people with problems. So he could understand them, even travel to the place. Customer orientation, this is the last one. I've taken 5 minutes more. Create a culture of respect and time. My friend used to say, customer means कष्ट से जो मर जाता है उसको हम customer कहते हैं. Gandhian principle, Gandhian servant leadership says, create a culture of respect for time. When we create that respect for time in the organization, it doesn't mean that a supervisor gives respect to the manager for the time and manager gives to the CEO, but even the CEO sees if he has given time to the worker, he better respect that. Punctuality for all meetings to start and end on time. Implement weekly lean Kaizen management system for self and managers and supervisors. A beautiful quote from Mahatma Gandhi. He says, a customer is not an interruption. It's a very popular quote we have. I don't need to, every bank, every place. We had implemented in MCO Mumbai, the Gandhian servant leadership, and they had right in front the whole Gandhiji's quote on customer. What is important is arrange external customers to visit, communicate directly with frontline, encourage frontline associate to visit customers. People should be visiting customers. Sometimes we don't have work. What we should do, let people visit customers, maybe in near the location. If they are traveling, let them go and visit the customer there. Treat associates as your customers needing support, internal customers. Integrate lean, key performance indexes in performance reviews. Establish internal customer and supplier relationship. Again, what are the benefits we can gain? Unimaginable, unbelievable. From wherever we are, at whatever level, we can still further go up. Again, sustain, again go up, sustain, and continue. And now I would like to invite Ketan to give his case study. Over to you, Ketan.
Thank you, Yogesh Bhai. It's always very refreshing and something new to learn every time we see your presentation, and when you share your learnings and experiences at Milton, it's always a great experience. So I'd like to thank Vedzin and Yogesh Bhai to give me an opportunity to share our journey on what we have been practicing and what are we seeing as results, you know, in our enterprise. Whatever I'm going to share is all was done, you know, from the inspiration we got from all my gurus, Dilip Bhai Somaya here, a lot of learning from Yogesh Bhai, because I guess one of the very first, most inspiring visit I can remember is my visit to Milton Plastics. So it's again coming back after seeing your presentation. So friends, let me just start by sharing, you know, our journey at Synergy Global Sourcing. That's the company that was founded and you know, was conceived with an ideology inspired from some of the thoughts and some of the aims and aspirations, along with Dilip Bhai Somaya, and also joined by my co-founder, Mr. Nitin Patel, who's also on one of the participants list over here. Our journey, as I said, is basically about what are the little things that we are practicing and what are we seeing coming out of those practices. I guess it will be more interesting for the group here to see what impact does some of these practices have on the business. You know, though it does have impact on the people, but you know, at the end of the day, we are all running a business enterprise, and we need to see something tangible and more convincing. So I hope some of the things that I'm going to share might serve that purpose, though I wouldn't say that we are sharing our achievements over here, but I guess we are only sharing some of the small shoots of results that we are seeing. As a company, we started in 2005 with inspiration from Dilip Bhai Somaya. And our mission was not to start a business. Our mission was with a bigger purpose. The foremost mission of starting Synergy Global Sourcing was to bring pride to India in whatever we do. Create at least 1,000 more jobs in the work that you know we do, and in the you know, the activities that we carry out. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So we wanted to create an environment where we don't have super qualified and highly experienced people, but we have ordinary people who challenge themselves, learn along the way, and do extraordinary things. Our way of working was very simple, and we wanted to do everything with a simple thinking, but with an aim to get global visibility. And our basic foundation was on 3 fundamental practices. That was trust, to build trust among all stakeholders, with customers, suppliers, our teammates within our organization, and also have a spirit of teamwork, not just within the organization, but also teamwork with the customers and suppliers. And we never wanted to treat ourselves or consider ourselves separate from our customers and suppliers. We wanted to be as seamlessly connected and as integral to our customers as well as our suppliers. And utmost respect for time, which comes from one of the principles, and you know, what Yogesh Bhai just shared was, you know, the value for time. We Indians have a reputation, as we all know. So we wanted to change that right from the very beginning. Our fundamental business philosophy was based on top-class customer service and empathy. So we all talk about customer service, but we wanted to go a step further in trying to see, can we understand what the customer's problems are? And we felt that if we can solve the customer's problems and step into their shoes, then we might be able to serve them better and maybe be able to delight them as well. At the same time, by doing so, we also understand their stated and implied needs. We don't necessarily just look at what their specifications are and just look at what their written requirements are, but try and go a few steps further. Also practice our business with utmost transparency. And this is a very debatable thing as to how transparent can you be. And some of the things that you will see further shows that, we practice a reasonably great degree of transparency in the activities that we do. Suppliers, basically, collaborative partnerships and on-time payments was, one of the ways of working that we said, if we are going to work with suppliers, then we're not going to treat them separate. We're going to work along with them. We're going to help them. We're going to support them, solve their problems, so that in turn, we are able to solve our customers' problems. And we made it a very strict policy that we will never delay a payment to a supplier, however small or big it may be. And regardless of whether we have a proper cash flow or not, that was not the question. We wanted to stick to that principle of paying our suppliers on time. Gemba involvement or workplace involvement and dignity of labor has been our style of working right from beginning for people at all levels. Employee and team development. It's like everybody needs to learn something new and take up some challenges every day. So we spend every day learning something new. Even today, though we are, almost 15 years old, but we feel that we have a lot more to learn, and everybody in our team, whether they're experienced or whether they're newcomers, we make sure that everybody learns something new every day. Uncompromising business ethics would take priority over financial considerations. I will share a few examples as we go along, but business ethics came first and profit and loss came next. This is the basis on which we thought we will carry out our business. Initially, we thought that all this would be very, very difficult to practice. But having spent many years on these fundamental business philosophies, I think we have been fairly successful, but there's always scope for improvement. Our metamorphosis of Synergy, we started in 2005, and in 2008, we have transformed ourselves. We have learned a lot along the way, just like the caterpillar to the butterfly analogy. I guess we have transformed ourselves, and we have evolved, our business model, and we've evolved the way we work by learning all along the way. And just like the caterpillar to the butterfly, there has always been a struggle, and nothing comes without struggle. A glimpse of products for curiosity for some of our participants is we actually provide a very wide range of critical engineering components only to overseas buyers, especially in the US, Canada, and Europe. So none of our customers are in India. All these products are manufactured by local manufacturers. They're assembled within our facility. Some of them are supplied as is and shipped to these global engineering customers. These are some of the industry segments that we are present in mining, metro transit, plumbing, Navy and military, especially the US Army and Navy, steel processing, and oil and gas. So right from the beginning, and if you see now, just a quick snapshot, though I'll be sharing a few details a minute later, we started our enterprise with zero investment. We had no capital right from the inception. And to this day, we still are almost near zero external debt. We have very little borrowings from the banks or from private investors. Our inventory turns are 20 plus consistently for the last 10 years. We have been successful in creating at least 600 plus jobs, direct and indirect. I think that number changes every day. Our quality performance has been to near zero defect levels, 99.95% plus consistently for the last 8 years. Our on-time delivery to our customers with all the logistical challenges has been 92% on time, products reaching our customers' doorstep. Plus, we have been able to see a 20% growth year on year and best in industry profit levels. Our ethical practices, as I said, are zero delays in supplier payments, transparency in dealing with customers, and through transparency, we have been able to achieve by giving customers voluntary price reductions in the products they buy from us by 15 to 20%. If you look at the trend in the last 3 years, by various factors, but we go voluntarily to our customers and say, this is your new price, which is the reduced price, without even their asking. And if we are late in shipping a product, then we take full responsibilities, again, without our customer asking, premium air freight, and make sure that the customer doesn't suffer. So this is something which we do voluntarily, and we don't expect the customer to come back and ask us saying you're late, but we are stuck with your deliveries. So please do something. So we go voluntarily on our own by realizing that we are late in our own commitments. In terms of business excellence, if you can see, the trend in the quality performance has been right from 99.2%, almost from the time we started, to 99.7% plus last year. Our average turnover per employee has also risen almost 2.5 times, from 30 lakhs per employee since around the time we started to 82.5 lakhs per employee last year. We are very hands-on, and we have this term, we live by the term synergy, which means together we can create much more than our collective number. And our customers are here. You can see them. They are regularly involved in everything that we do. They are with us. They teach us. We learn from them. At the same time, our customers say that they're learning from us too, which is again a very extraordinary thing. In terms of supplier partnerships, we have about 160 suppliers spread across from the north to the south of India. And most of these suppliers are from the micro and small segment, very few from the medium enterprise. So we work in a way that we support our suppliers and we treat them as partners in the true sense that our team is all the time trying to find solutions to their problems and meeting and exceeding our customer expectations. So every 2 years, we do a supplier partnership meet, wherein it's very rare, but we thought that we should also do, along with our customer satisfaction survey, we thought we should also do a supplier satisfaction survey in asking our suppliers how satisfied we get very interesting feedback and we get very high ratings, but there's always scope for learning and improvement. In terms of hands-on work, I think, it's like an everyday affair for us. And, we have people at all levels spending most of their time on the shop floor, not just in-house, but also spending a lot of time on the shop floor of our suppliers. You can see some of our senior most people spending most of the time on the shop floor, our senior consultant there, our head of operations there, our quality engineers, new product development. So you see all the functions coming together very often and finding solutions to problems. And I also love spending a lot of time on the shop floor with our suppliers. So a couple of days every month, I try to do that. And I get to learn a lot in the process and help solve forthcoming problems that we foresee. Here you also see my partner and COO doing a lot of hands-on work, and he does that regularly. He's rarely on his seat. And at the same time, you see them spending more and more time on the shop floor. There's a constant knowledge sharing. As I said, there's always learning on a daily basis from everyone and from the experience of senior people. We celebrate every day, and we also make sure that even the casual employees, the temporary workers also get a chance to celebrate their birthdays with us, and not just the permanent employees. We have daily sunrise meetings with the team. For 15 minutes, we review about 10 plus customers who are our global customers, and we review a couple of hundred items in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes every day. We also do a lot of CSR activities. I won't go into the details of that. And we also have long-standing employees, and we celebrate their long service with them. And we never miss a chance to celebrate small milestones of our team members. In terms of employee involvement, there's Kaizen, 5S, cost of pure quality, and premium air freight. are actually reviewed regularly, and our team is pretty much a self-managed team with little or less involvement from senior people, and emphasis on safety, medical insurance, and comfort of our employees is always taken care of. There's very less employee turnover, less than 15% year on year. The salary growth is also minimum 15% year on year. High amount of training time is spent, and a lot of Kaizens. We have about 6 Kaizens per employee per year. In terms of business excellence, last year we saw 2% without any aggressive marketing strategy, and it just happened. And during the lockdown, we paid full salary to all employees, including casual workers, because we felt that more than our permanent employees, we have a responsibility towards our temporary workers as well. And we also announced during the lockdown a double bonus for the last financial year. And this year, even during uncertain times, I feel we are very confident that we will achieve a growth. These are a few testimonials from our overseas clients, and we keep getting them every day. These are some of the GSL practices that we first category of work, participate in a daily 10-minute 5S, and also rapid improvement workshops, and recognize good performance of individuals and teams. Regular town hall meetings in communicating the changes and the developments in the business with our customers, suppliers. It's an open forum that is done very often. And we have an open door policy. Anybody can walk in anytime and talk to us about their concerns, suggestions, and problems. And with all that, we have this, it's not just saying in our wall in our case, and we keep trying very hard, though I wouldn't say that we are 100% successful, because there's nothing called perfection. But leadership is not a position, but it is an action. And we try to improve upon that day upon day. And every day is a new learning for us. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to share about some of the things that we are practicing and some of the results that we are seeing at Synergy Global Sourcing. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found it interesting.
Fabulous. Ketan, fabulous. You are really following the higher values, the dharma that you are following, you get artha coming to you in return.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing your case study. Over to you, Piyush. Would you take some of the questions from the participants so that I and Ketan can take up the questions and possibly answer to their need?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vavi. Thank you, Ketan ji, for the insights on how to adopt Gandhian principles. In today's environment, they are very much relevant. Things new today. As far as question answer session is concerned, I still haven't got any questions on the board. So I would request all the participants to share your questions either in the chat box or in the question answer box. So yes, I do see people have started jotting down, have started putting in their questions. So we'll spend another 5-10 minutes for this. We have exceeded the timeline, we understand. It's 5:33 right now. We should have wrapped up by now. But yes, thank you. Thank you, Rajaramji. He says, clap for Ketanji, very nice presentation. Now we'll wait for your questions, participants. Right. So here we have Mr. Gandhi, who has shared his question. It says, Ketan Bhai's case is really inspiring. What would he like to advise to Indian industry leaders in the SMEs? Yes, right. Please go ahead, Ketanji.
Yeah, I guess, the answers come from some of the practices that Yogesh Bhai shared. I think the whole secret, which is an open and a simple secret, is being on the shop floor and working, more and more with people who actually add value, because that is where the real solutions lie. That is where the real ideas lie. I think as far as SMEs are concerned, sometimes if it's a small enterprise, it's always obvious that people would tend to spend more time on the shop floor. But I think if we are, if we are better listeners, and if we really are able to get ideas and solutions from the team members working in our organizations, and it's like, so many minds thinking, as opposed, one mind thinking and trying to solve problems. So sometimes as small and medium sized business owners, we think that we have all the problems on our head. But I think by practicing more and more employee involvement, the solution lies right there, that you will not believe the amount of ideas and solutions that will come out, which you alone would have never been able to find. That would be my answer to Mr. Gandhi.
Right. Mr. Bhagani, would you like to share something on the same question? It says, any advice for Indian industry leaders in the SMEs?
Well, first off, we should have a very clear vision that we are growing, okay? And in that vision is what Ketan Bhai shared, that you have higher values, you have high respect for people. And once we do that, Gandhiji says achieving excellence is quite simple, and at the same time it is difficult. Excellence lies in doing what everyone should, but does not. So there is seed of greatness in each and every individual working with the organization. We should see that if I have, as an SME, if I have 30 people, how I will bring their head and their heart in the organization. And it's not difficult. Believe me, it is not difficult. If we sincerely try and implement with lean, the Gandhian servant leadership, it's like a prayer. Every day we go through the principles and practices. First, you fake it to make it. Just go on the shop floor. Spend 10-15 minutes. People will see you on the floor more than you being in the conference room. I think that will make a huge, huge difference to the SMEs.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Gandhi sir also, Anup Gandhi ji has shared that. Thank you for your inputs, insights. The challenges with young entrepreneurs who don't know Gandhi ji in real, there's more misunderstanding. So I hope today's session would have thrown some light on Gandhi ji's life and his practices, which proved beneficial then, before the independence also, and they are indeed being practiced by companies like Ketan ji's, Synergy, and many more who have much more to offer. So yes, thank you, Hanumanji. Thank you so much, Swapnil. He says very nice presentation by Ketan ji. So if there are any more questions, participants, we would wait here for another 5 minutes. It's 5:39 right now, so we plan to wrap up by 5:45. So 5 minutes more. We'll wait for your questions here, and we will try to answer them as we can. Yes, Umesh Gavli ji says, Mr. Bhagani, Mr. Ketan sir, thank you very much for your great session on Gandhiji's thoughts and practices. So we will wait for your questions here. Sachin Nagpuri ji says, thank you for the nice session. Thank you, Sachin ji, for your kind words. Thank you, Swapnil ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rajaram ji. Thank you, Panali Selvam ji. Thank you so much for your kind words. He says, excellent, very nice. Thank you, Dwakanath ji. Great webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, Samyak ji. He says nice and useful tips. Right, Paresh Chandanji says, thank you so much for Yogesh Bhai and Ketanji for this informative webinar on GSL. Really appreciate your time and effort. Thank you, Paresh ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vinod ji, for your kind words. Thank you, Somaya ji. Thank you so much.
Namaste to you, Somaya ji.
So participants, thank you so much for attending this program. We would keep doing such programs. We have conducted 3 webinars so far. This was the 4th one in the series, and we would be coming back next week with another program. Details, you would get it in your email, in your inbox. If you want to share it with your friends, please do share it if you find it useful. And the details you would also receive on your WhatsApp also. You can share them on your WhatsApp. So next week we are planning to bring the lean, how to implement lean in the construction area. We have had, as a Vedzen consulting team, we had few clients. So we'll be doing that. After that week, we have a plan on operational excellence. We have programs coming in on asset excellence and on process excellence. So these are the programs we are trying to build up for you so that we can share our insights from the industry. You know, the times are tough. There's not much workforce, but those who want to learn, those who are inquisitive enough, please do share these programs with them so that they can learn more from these, from the greats like Gandhiji, from efforts that Mr. Vaghani took in his Milton factory, that the efforts that Ketanji is taking in his industry, in his company, to become better, to become a world-class organization. Yes, we have some few remarks on our chat box. Sirish Bhai says, loved the ethical practices followed by Synergy. This seems truly unique and must come with its challenges. Well done, Ketan and team. Rajaramji, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nitinji, thank you so much for this. Anupji, thank you so much.
Shirish Patel, a lot of things we have learned from his company too. How to bring vision to reality. Sirish Bhai, that is where you made a big difference and a mark in the whole industry. And so many people, you could bring them from ordinary to extraordinary. Hats off.
Yes, Uday Davda ji has an off-track question. He says he would like to know more about the principles for healthcare industry, specifically for hospitals. So I would request you, Uday ji, to get in touch with us. In my chat box, I'll send you the number where you can call me or my colleagues also, and you can write the emails also where we can interact further on this topic. Yeah, Mr. Davda, that's the number on our website. That's the number where you can call. I've sent you on the chat box. I've messaged it to you. So it's 5:44 right now. 1 minute to go. We'll wrap it at 5:45. And once again, thank you so much, participants, for joining us in this program. This was a unique topic that has been practiced by many organizations we have consulted with, along with Somaya ji's team. So I hope you liked it. Anything Mr. Vaghani would like to share in the end, Ketan ji?
Ketan?
Yeah, go ahead, Yogesh Bhai.
I would like to thank all the participants. Namaskar. Thank you very much. And Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Shantu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasdit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Koi dukhi na ho, sab sukhi raho. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, participants. Thank you, Mr. Vaghani. Thank you, Ketanji, for being in this program.
You're welcome.
And we'll come back, participants, with more programs. And signing off from here, this is Piyush Pandey. Thank you so much. Have a great evening today.